Hey y'all, this is Toad from Country AF Radio. Yeah, I stole that hey y'all from Stephanie Quayle. I got the pleasure to sit down with Stephanie during the pandemic, get to know her a little bit better. We talked the future of music, we even talked about Tiger King, her David, and even got in some acoustic tunes. What do you say we get to know Stephanie Quayle together? This is Toad's COVID Chronicles.
Please remain at least 6 feet away from your speakers at all times. This is Toad's COVID Chronicles.
Can you hear me?
Oh!
Oh, look at you with your pretty background.
Well, it's my home studio, so I'm allowed to have that, right?
You know what? I need to do that too. You're getting
The
hello.
window. Hi, window.
I'm in my farm office, and I have not spent a lot of time here.
Is that a
Look what I've done with the walls.
do you put holes in them?
No, they came with it.
Oh, they came with the holes. I like it. What was there? Stuff.
Something
See
was
if
there.
This works. Mine goes way over there, and then there's soundproofing, and then way over there is.
Yeah, I mean, clearly you're the professional here.
Professional what?
How are you?
I
Are
am.
we recording right now? Yeah, we're recording. Hi, I see
We
the
are
thing.
recording.
See the thing.
We are. I will be cleaning some of this stuff up and doing some post stuff and some video, some audio. So it's been a busy week. I'm good. I'm tired. But I know you have been busier probably now than you've ever been.
I've been living like multiple lives simultaneously. I
Right.
think a snapshot of my life best described would be yesterday. I did, what do we have going on yesterday morning? I can't even, we had something with our animals on the farm. Then I did Hey Y'all, which is our live broadcast that we do every day. And then I jumped out of my Wranglers into my overalls, went and planted some elderberry bushes in our garden, then into a right, then into our market to work. It's bonkers, Toad. What am I doing?
You know, I think you're learning the new norm in some sense, because I think we have to get reacquainted with ourselves, with what the future brings, with lots of stuff, man.
It is definitely a new, yes, I have definitely worked. I've been here 51 days today.
Wow.
And that's the longest I've been anywhere for probably 10 years.
That's nuts. And what do you think you've learned the most of? Like, what's the positive you're taking out of all this? Not that there's a lot of negative, but
honestly, you know me well enough. It's all positive.
Yeah.
I mean, the fact that we can be open is such an opportunity to be able to serve the community, and the fact that we can be virtual like this. Yeah. I mean, you're in Nevada, I'm in North Carolina right now.
Right.
You know, the fact that we can still have the connections that we can. I think that what I'm seeing and what I'm learning about myself is you can't take the people person out of me. That's probably the hardest part for me, is just not being able to, you know, how much I love to love on humans and just,
sure.
You know, complete strangers, find out what's going on in their world, and, you know, our you know, everything just has changed so much in that respect. And so how to create new ways to stay connected where it still has the feeling, which I don't know that we will until we can actually all be in the same room together.
It's gonna be weird. I've noticed that, like, I've followed your Hey Y'alls. I haven't watched them consistently. What's that?
Did you see today?
No, I had to work this morning.
What have you been doing all day?
Ha! I have a radio show every day, and then after this,
I JK.
Yesterday I did 7 of these.
Do you feel like you were as fresh for your 7th as you were for your first?
Absolutely, because you know what? You know me, and that's what it's all about. I mean, my attitude is I'm as good as my last, you know? And,
yeah.
And that goes both ways. Yes, I think I might be a little bit more tired, a little bit slower on the first than I am on the last, but Heather and I went for a walk last night, and
I love Heather. Hi, Heather. I love you.
She's in the other room. She went for her run this morning while I recorded my radio show this morning. But we went for a walk yesterday, and one of the guys that comes through and plays at Stoney's just moved into the house, like right around, like literally two doors down from me.
No way.
Yeah. And so I was shooting the poop with him, and we walked away, and she goes, "That was an hour and a half." And I went, "I don't even know how I'm talking anymore. I don't even know." Like, because it's just, but
Yeah.
it's cool. It's cool. I'm happy. My honey-do list is done.
Really? You got through it all?
Well, yeah, now I'm working on my own personal list of stuff.
Well, I did see some of your, I was doing some stalking myself, and were you working on your dirt bikes? Like, what were you doing?
I went out last week. I bought a new dirt bike just before all this stuff hit. And I was out. I always ride by myself. It's just something that I enjoy to do. I've done it for 20 years. I was about 3/4 of the way home, and I hit a rock, and it sheared the chain guide off my my rear swing arm. So I was dead in the water.
Yeah.
So I had to walk about 300-400 yards to get to the top of a mountain so I could have cell service, so I could call and have Heather come pick me up. So she came and got me. That phone call is not fun of, "I'm okay, but I need you to come get me."
Those are so stressful.
Yeah, it was funny. I called my buddy Sparky first, and just because I wanted to not have to call Heather because I knew what was going to come. So I called Sparky, but he was 45 minutes away from me. So I was like, shit, I got to call Heather. So I called Heather. She came out, picked me up, but I had to buy a new rear swing arm. I had to buy a new chain guide. I had to buy a new chain, new sprocket. So that's what we were working on the other night.
Put it all back together yourself.
Yeah, you know what? I just got the suspension rebuilt on the bike for me. So the guy that rebuilt the suspension's a friend. His name is Jay. He came over and just kind of helped out to make sure the suspension was back in the right way and everything. So it was cool. I mean, it was guys' night. We barbecued. We worked on dirt bikes. It was fun.
So what's going on in Nevada right now? Like, what are the stay-home orders for Vegas?
Can I be quite frank?
I mean, this is your interview. You can.
I'm not happy. Nobody's happy. I mean, the end of the day is we're still at home. He's leaving us at home till the 15th at least.
Okay.
He decided, our governor decided to go talk to the nation before he talked to his own state, which is kind of pretty piss poor. So Wednesday he talked to ABC. Last night at 5:00 he talked to us. So needless to say, we're still closed. He said casinos, hotels usually probably won't open till phase 3 or phase 4, and we haven't even started phase 1. So
That's like sometime in the summer.
Yeah, pretty much. So it's kind of frustrating.
Yeah, it's interesting because here in North Carolina, they pushed it back. It was going to open up last week, then they pushed it back to May 8th. And then Nashville, they pushed it back. So it's just...
Aren't they opening today a lot of stuff in Nashville?
I'm not sure. I keep getting mixed stories. So I don't really know. My understanding that Nashville proper wasn't yet allowing certain places to be open, but then just outside the county line, there's been some stuff going on. So I don't know, I guess like part of me is I just want us all to get back to work. Right. For this week there's so many people that are struggling, like all of us, and all our industries are being impacted. I mean, I'm part of my industry being, having our farm, like we have a little grocery store, so we're able to, that's essential business. So we're able to keep that open.
Is that busier than it's ever been right now?
It's busier than it's ever been. And we're supplying a lot of, like, we do delivery. And if you live like a certain amount, a lot of people are ordering online.
Right.
So that they don't have to have the contact. And we've tried to make it possible so you could order everything you needed. And
are you still allowed to ship like anywhere, or just you got to stay local?
As far as I know, we can ship anywhere. I don't think we've had any limitations that we, outside of, things that with perishables, you just have to ship it faster.
Right. Yeah.
But we haven't had any restrictions. That's an interesting, I think about that a lot. I read all of FedEx and UPS's updates and how they're doing things and what they're doing. And we haven't had that limitation. It's been really interesting. Just my care. Like, I'm just concerned about everybody. Right. Like so anytime like a new person comes in the market, usually I'd be like, hi, like, welcome. And so I'm having to really honor everyone else's space so much and be so much more conscious of like my normal thing is I just want to like reach over and make sure you know that like we've got you and whatever you need and
Right.
you know, and then I'm really having to be much more aware of just like, okay, this person might not be comfortable being around people right now.
Right.
There's so much fear right now. You know, I think where I get most concerned is when we have our elderly come in and some of our senior citizens. I'm like, hey, we can bring this to you. You do not need to come here. And they're so cute. They come in with their masks and they're like, look, we're fine. Like we're going to do all the things that we need to do. So there's just a lot of different conversations happening.
Right. It's interesting because you sit back. My buddy Jake had to pick my brain about some bar stuff, and he stopped by, and his wife goes, "Did you even ask him like where he was on the fence?" And he was like, "Nah, I know him. We're cool." So, I mean, my attitude is like, I read. I don't want to say I read a lot, but I read enough to be knowledgeable enough in it. And I mean, I know that. I mean, I feel that if you're healthy and that you're not, you know, super elderly and don't have pre-existing conditions, that I don't want to say you're not prone to getting it, but you're safe in some sense. You can fight it or whatever the case may be. And truth be told, a couple Christmases ago, I believe I had this because I had the same symptoms and everything. Not this past Christmas, but the Christmas before. I was in bed for like 6-7 days, 103 temperature, coughing up a storm, you know, and the doctor didn't know what it was. But the end of the day is, I think if you're healthy and you're smart and you're hygienic, you're gonna be fine, you know?
Right.
Yeah.
I think that, I mean, that I think our elevated sense of, you know, situational awareness, simple things like don't touch your face. I mean, I was traveling every single day. I know. I go like this and like, you know,
I do this a lot.
yeah, I do that too. And I use Q-tips and I throw them away. But I was on the road every single day up until March, what I got here, like the 10th or something, 10th or 11th,
Right. Yeah.
around that week. And so traveling that much, I'm already very aware that if I get a cold, I can't sing, or if I get strep throat, I can't sing. So I'm very aware of that already. Now I'm just monitoring everyone I see. I'm like, you know, so I hope that we can get to a place where we have the awareness without the fear.
Right.
And can all be together again without making people feel uncomfortable. Man, this is a great segue into all that. What do you think is going to happen with live music? I'm going to start with you and say that my personal thought is people at a certain level are going to be fine. And until you get up to the place where you are headlining festivals and stuff, I think those are the people that are going to be hurt the most out of all of this. But I think that the average artist band might be okay. I think that once you get into where you won't do anything less than 2,500 seats, I think those are the people that are going to be in trouble, because like Aldean's tour, they're screwed. Like, because it's going to be a while before 40,000 people get together. Right. Well, and I think a big indicator is going to be the sports industry. So never in my life have I ever been more interested in sports. Right. I think athletics are such leaders in, you know, when the NBA and the and college basketball and then MLB and now like what's going to happen with the NFL, this like all of it, right?
Yeah.
Like with sports, I feel like they're going to lead that conversation. I feel like, because I feel like it's just, I don't know. I mean, I've thought about it from both sides, right? So in some ways, the up and coming artists, you know, we're trying to get to those rooms, right? We're trying to get to the you know, thousands of seaters. So will the Jasons of the world and, you know, Keith Urban and Carrie Underwood, will they then look at reformatting their tours where they're like, you know what, we're going to do smaller venues?
You kind of do think about it.
How does that impact all the, you know, everyone is going to be impacted. So, you know, with every festival, every concert, everything that's been postponed and canceled for me over the last however many days now and months, it's like, we don't know when that's going to stop. Everyone just keeps kind of like pushing stuff back and like,
Right.
we'll get to it then. And
when is your next that you have dated right now? Like, sorry, that's slated to play. What date is that? What do you have?
so I know that I have some dates up in the air right now because they're still trying, like there's states that are closed, but they still have their shows on.
Like when,
like
are we talking July, August?
Yeah, I think right now I have an end of July concert here in Greensboro that was supposed to be in May.
Right.
It was supposed to be actually tomorrow. It was supposed to be tomorrow, and they pushed it to the end of July. And I've had a lot of things that they've just canceled because they can't physically, like there is no other option.
Right.
They don't have the dates available. You know, you think about like the CMA Music Festival, they didn't have another option.
Right. Yeah. I mean, I know that Country Fan Fest that you played last year was slated for July 31st, you know, through the beginning of August. And I talked to Jim, and he was telling me that they believe they're going to move it. The state said no, but the festival was like, okay, well, if we send off all of these down payments for the bands and it doesn't happen, are you going to repay us that money? Because like,
right.
What happened? So I don't know where they're at right now, but I mean, here's the scary part to me. I had a show booked for April 10th. It got rescheduled. We settled on a date somewhere in November. They came back and said, are we good for that November date? And wanted to keep the pay the same. And it's a bigger artist. And I said, I can't. Because what happens if in November, I'm still sitting on 50% capacity? There's no way I can make that money back.
Right.
And like, oh, you know, well, there's bylaws in the contract. I'm like, I can guarantee you there's not a bylaw in that contract that says if, then, bam. There's no way.
I think that we're all going to have to be a lot more fiscally responsible in our understanding of how everything works.
Right.
Because I think that we can't put this genie back in the bottle. The genie's out. The genie is deciding what the genie's going to wear. And until we know what the genie's got on, we're just going to have to sit here and wait it out.
I asked Chris Loudon a question yesterday, and I asked him,
hello, Chris, I love you.
I asked him, I go, what do you think the exit strategy is for all of this?
Exit strategy, how so? What do you mean?
On all different levels, political, financial, you know, like on a human level, what is the exit strategy? Because you've got science that's saying one thing, you've got political that's saying one thing, you've got us as people driving our own thoughts and our own reactions and our own beliefs. And so like, how is this even gonna turn? Is it gonna be, you know, the conspiracy theorist is already out there, and it's bad. It's really bad, because the other side of it is so political. It's not even funny. They're saying that we're just trying to kill the economy so it doesn't look good when it comes time to vote. And I mean, I just like hear all these stories, and I sit back and I'm like, what is a positive exit strategy for all this other than the new norm? But that's the only thing it can be.
Right. What did Chris say?
I don't know if I want to.
You'll tell me another time.
Yeah, that. But I just sit back and I think it's that whole idea of what's really going on. Like in the process of it all, if we stick to music, I know that I heard some people that were talking to some folks over at Live Nation, and the Live Nation approach is we're doing door deals now. There is no guarantee anymore. So I like that, and I don't like that for our venue, because, you know, on a Friday, there's people that come out to see the bands, and there's people that come out to dance, and they don't care what the band is. And so, because we're a dance club first. So what happens, like, we have to find our happy medium for that as well.
Everyone does. And I think that, you know, I think speaking to relationship and entrepreneurs, which we are, and, you know, in an industry that is entertainment, but we're there to entertain the crowd.
Right.
We're there for the crowd. And we're there for the fans and giving them the best experience. I really do feel that will navigate its way on its own. I don't think that we're going to be okay. Everyone wear masks and gloves in the club.
Right.
Gloves. Yeah. Gloves. And you just touched your face again, Toad. And again. But I do think, you know, everyone just has to kind of give everyone, it's like that ebb and flow of just, we just are going to have to navigate it. It's like
Right.
with every single concert, every single person, every single artist, you know, it's just going to be navigating it and being more flexible probably than we've ever been, with an understanding of like, here's how we work together and here's how we don't work together.
Right.
And this is what's going to work and this is what's not going to work. Because artists have to survive, venues have to survive, we all have to feed ourselves, we have to pay our, I mean, like, get as much as it broke my heart to cancel 40 flights in one day, and like felt that, and felt like the magnitude of how many shows that we weren't going to be able to play. The part that killed me the most was that my band, their whole income structure as independent musicians depends on touring, depends on these performances. And so I've been trying to figure out, okay, how can I create alternate ways of creating opportunities for those that what can we do? Okay, so we can't do a virtual Zoom because the delay is terrible. But we can, create these recordings and do different things like that, and to really, so I'm kind of in this, like, not mad dash, but thoughtful mad dash to create opportunity for as many people as I can so that we can just continue.
I like it. How are they all doing? Are they all good?
They're good. I just miss the hell out of them.
I bet.
Honestly. I just, is going from playing every single day at a different place, a different radio station, having all these moments. They're just such great guys.
Right.
I just miss them.
I still use your blueprint in a lot of conversations that I have. And you said something to me many, many moons ago. And I believe that I've said it to you a few times, that you're a product of your environment, the people that you surround yourself with. And I use that a lot in a lot of different facets of my life. And it's kind of, it's the truth. I mean, you literally are. You become what you surround yourself with. Completely.
I mean, you are those 5 people.
Yeah.
So you think about the 5 people that you are on a daily basis talking to or working with or whatever. And it is really interesting. I think too, though, what a time for us all to just take inventory and take stock in, I mean, am I going to want to run around the country like I did?
Well, I think it puts into perspective it puts into perspective all the little things that, as part of your daily, that used to bother you, probably are so minute right now that.
Oh yeah. I mean, it's like a totally different, I mean, I couldn't have been in Nashville. I could not have been in Nashville during this time and not been here to support family and support our farm. And that would have drove me bananas. So I'm so grateful that I came here and I've been able to be helpful. Also, just, I think that, and I'm sure you're going to be this way too with your interviews and who you guys have come play and how you select those future relationships. Because I think for me too, it's looking at, okay, what's 5, 10 years, 15 years? What's the long game?
Yeah.
What's the long perspective? The short term, sure, everyone's very fearful. And I get that. And it is a challenging, fearful time. But also it's like, man, where you spend your time and who you spend it with and how you spend it. I think a lot of people are taking inventory on that.
Are you, fun question, are you binge watching TV at all? Any Netflix shows?
Oh, no, I have not. My stepdaughter's here. We brought her down from New York. She got down here right about the same time I did. And we did Tiger King it up. Because I had to know. I had to know what all, like, I just had to see it,
So you followed the hype and then you watch it, like, because that's what I did. I didn't watch it originally. I listened and saw the memes. And
I saw the advertisements and how heavy they were leaning into it. So I knew that there was, okay, there's like Netflix. They ain't no dummies. Like they know what they're doing. So there's something here that's going to hook people in enough to keep watching.
What did you think of it?
I have a lot of thoughts. I have a lot. I question humanity often when it comes to animals and the treatment of animals.
Yeah.
And you know, I mean, I don't know if you saw the stories when COVID first broke out, but people were just leaving their animals.
Yeah.
And because they thought that you know, it was transferable. And I have a real issue with humans sometimes.
What about the other side of that? All the people that went out and adopted all these animals.
Amazing. Here in Greensboro, like, kid you not, today, like, the local shelter is empty.
What's going to happen in 60 days when everyone goes back to work with all those animals?
I don't know how many people. I'll be very curious to see how companies manage workspace, because I think if the work is getting done virtually,
probably better.
And if it's getting done better and they've cut their overhead,
yep,
they're not going to go back to business as usual.
I heard yesterday through a friend that said their biggest fear is commercial real estate. And I went, what? Like, I'm like, what are you commercial? What are you talking about? And they're going to be, and they said just what you just said. The thought process of people being more productive at home, right, and more available at home, more responsive at home, that they don't need the office space anymore.
It's going to be really curious. You know, it's when you're, you know, I don't know where this interview is going.
Everywhere.
Where everyone's getting, but so I grew up preparing for this. So my dad is, you know, one of those that has very much been preparing for a situation like this. He's written books on it. He's been very outspoken about it. And so, honestly, none of it surprised me.
Right.
Because I've kind of been hearing about it for so many years that something like this could happen.
Right. That
I'm in a very unique mindset because I grew up with that.
Right. It's not, it's like second nature to you.
Well, I don't know what nature it is, but it's a nature.
I think the whole idea and the premise of these is just to let people know that you have a thought in it, that you're human, that you're going through it with them. And I know that it'll reach people that may know you, may not know you, but people are, they're consuming everything right now. Like, and I know that, I'm going to go back to that. That's like the main reason for this, is just to let your fans, our Country AF Radio fans, our Stonies fans know that you, as an artist that's been at Stonies a lot, that you're human and you're going through this stuff just like we are. And you have the same thoughts, the same beliefs. I've only said this one time throughout all these interviews, is that people assume that you just show up and play music. They don't know all the steps that you take, from the flights to the rehearsals, to the interviews, to the food, to doing sound check, to getting ready, to your ritual before you go on the stage, they don't understand all that. Getting your mindset ready, making sure you're ready the next day, the hotel, the food, the clothes, the gear, but this is just to show them that you're just as human. That's the whole idea behind this.
Yeah, no, I mean, and I think if anything, I've just missed being able to be available.
Yeah.
To, you know, when I think about Stonies specifically, you know, I think about what we've been building in Vegas together. And when I think of Jasmine, and I think of our crew, you know, and I think of our, you know, I think of our, just that time before the show. And, you know, just that's the part that, like, kind of wrecks me.
Right.
Because, and it's not that I don't think we won't get to that place.
It's going to be a while. But
it's just going to take time. And, like, I don't want people to lose that line dancing, Friday night, boot kicking, sweat dripping off. You know, you're just so into the music and the experience that you can just feel that freedom. And I think that's why people find so much comfort in live music, concerts, clubs, whatever it is, because you get to be free.
You are free. On that note, last night was ladies' night at Stoney's Rockin' Country. There's a video that came out. A few of our regulars were in the parking lot at Stoney's with
Stop
music.
it.
Swear to God, line dancing. So I did a thing 2-3 weeks ago. I put together a video of people doing Redneck Angel. I took our bartenders and put them right in the middle of it, just saying, hey, you know, we're good. Can't wait to see you guys again. I did this whole video. I think it's like 10,000 views already, something like that, just through our network of people that come to Stoney's. And it's this kind of like, it's super neat to see that these people sent in their videos of them dancing at home. I got moms with their babies dancing around. I've got a mom and a daughter dancing. I mean, it was just husband and wife. It was just really, really cool to see. And then last night was kind of neat to see people out in front of the club, just missing what we had, you know?
Well, I think too is, I think that as we slow step entering back into the world, right?
Yeah.
As we're all slow stepping this, I hope we just lean on that kindness that we've all seen. Like throughout this, it seems like through my lens that people are more thoughtful, kinder, innovative, finding ways to support, help.
Right.
You know, I hope that doesn't wear off.
I'm kind of with you on that. I hope that it really, really takes that this is an opportunity. And I've said this a few times, that people take this time to better themselves and to,
Right.
and to find out what's important in their life, whether it be with their self, with their family, relationships, whatever it may be, to really, really take the time and embrace it and do something positive out of it. Because you see these memes from these, inspirational people that are online, and they all talk about if you're not taking this time to better yourself, it's a failure, because
It's a waste.
yeah, it's a total.
Yeah, you know, with David and I, we'll have been married 5 years, June 20th. So we're coming up on our 5 years. And this is the first time in the history of our relationship that we've been together for this many consecutive dates.
Right.
And so we keep having these moments of like, holy cow, like we've never done this before.
Right. Yeah.
Most people that get married, they're together and then, you're bebopping around. In our case, when we first started dating, I was on the road.
Right.
So I've been on the road forever. So, for us to kind of find, like, how does this work? Do you still like me? Like, am I still okay? Like, am I still cool? And I don't know if you and Heather are like, making it interesting, but it's important.
It is. And it's kind of like one of those things. Yesterday was a long day for me because I sat in this room for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 hours straight. And when I came out,
did you have to go to the bathroom?
I mean, I did, but I have bathroom, shower, everything's right inside this. So it's kind of cool. I did walk out. I did see her every now and then, but it was for like maybe 2 minutes at a time. And then I was right back at it again. And for me, it's about, I want to offer something to somebody that's going to be watching this, and maybe it helps them a little bit. And, it keeps us in the forefront of what we're doing for Country AF Radio. And I think I have to sneeze.
I'm ready.
Got your Lysol? It went away. Our listenership has more than doubled on Country AF Radio, which is cool. And I've done the radio takeovers, and those things have been such a huge hit. It's not even funny. Like, the people that have responded to those and the rebroadcasts of those are even better. So I just came up with another idea that I'm just going to package those and put them on the website, along with the interviews of just all these other things you can get to know about this artist. And it's super cool. We're having fun with that. And I guess the other thought is like, people are learning right now that they're not driving, so they're not really listening to radio. I have friends that are in radio outside of country and that are sales managers, and the statements that they're making is that it's going to change the way radio is, because
everything has changed.
Yes, because people are right now, they're all online. You see them when you do your lives. You see just how much more response you're getting from stuff, and it's amazing. Like, I was talking to Drew Baldridge the other day, and he's like, dude, this has given me an opportunity to really get to know my fans a little bit better. And it's freaking cool.
Yeah, I did a Zoom with the flock of quail, and there was about 30 of us on a Zoom together. and it was really special. I want to do that again. That could be something cool for you to do with the listeners too.
Do it.
Is just have them all on together, because it's everyone is going through, we're all going through this together, and everyone's experiences are so different.
Right. Yeah.
And, in like my stepson's supposed to graduate college next week. Well, the ceremony's been canceled,
Right.
all these different, and I'm like thinking through the, like such, we've had so many extraordinary moments in our lives. And for these kids that aren't getting to experience that moment, like the walking the, what am I saying?
I know what you're saying. Yeah. When they walk and they
graduation walk,
yeah.
And for those that aren't getting to do prom and all these different things, it's a heightened level of appreciation. Now in George's case, with this whole, like, you can drive if your parents say so, that's a little stressful.
What is that? What do you mean?
They don't have to have, don't have to have licenses.
Was that for real?
Yeah. I mean, unless someone was messing with me.
I saw that said in Georgia that you didn't have to have a driver's license. You don't have to take the driving test to get a driver's license anymore.
You just need your parents, like, a note. I don't know if it's true. People do your Googling, but I'm just like, what? How?
GTS, man. GTS.
Yeah, but Montana opened up. Monday. Today's Friday.
My best friend from high school lives in Montana, and her daughter just graduated, and so they created a Facebook group just for everyone to go in and do their congratulations thing and everything like that. Yeah. Yeah,
and for the first time in history, outside of the Spanish flu, that there has been a global experience.
Right.
But we are all connected because we can be connected. Virtually, it's bonkers.
It is. My favorite thing out of all of this is when you become a grandparent, you're going to...
me specifically?
You specifically.
Okay.
And David, for that matter, and a grandpa.
Years. Okay, continue.
You guys will be sitting on the porch, and your grandkids will come up, and you'll start telling them stories about this pandemic that you lived through and a 9/11 that you lived through. Unlike your grandparents that turn around and said, oh, I walked uphill barefoot both ways in the snow. I mean, in World War I, World War II. But now, I mean, look what we've got. We've got Waco, 9/11, Root, this, I mean.
It's a lot.
Yeah. I mean,
our era. And then I also see messages where people feel very like, outside of our first responders and our nurses and our doctors and our fire departments and police and our military, like those that are working tirelessly, right, to keep us all. Then I think I saw an interview with Jay Leno, and he was like, your job is to stay home.
Yeah.
Like, suck it up. And it's just interesting.
Do you like seeing the Jimmy Fallons and the Jimmy Kimmels of the world recording from home? Have you watched any of like their monologues or anything like that?
I have watched it. I've been watching more probably intently because I'm doing the little Hey Y'all show, so I'm trying to be interesting.
Right.
And like I just think there's so many ways to be fun and innovative. Yeah. And also I lean on comedy. When you were asking me about am I streaming any shows, all the shows that are coming out are so heavy. Like Ozark, like, is so intense. Like, I want to watch it, but I can't watch it unless it's in the morning. And then I don't have nightmares. Like, too much. So Yellowstone's coming out soon though.
I don't know what that is.
What?
No, Yellowstone. I don't know.
You've never seen Yellowstone with Kevin Costner?
No.
It's a Western, like, it's like if the West met the Sopranos in modern times in Montana. It's on Paramount, and I think season 3 comes out in like a month.
So
yeah,
I've been
dig it, I think.
I've been told to watch Hunters.
Oh.
I've been told to watch Atypical.
Oh, Atypical's great. I have seen that. I binged that a long time ago.
Righteous Tombstones.
Haven't seen that or heard of it.
And now Yellowstone. I did watch Ozarks. I finished that. I did watch Outer Banks, and now I want to come visit. Even though I know that was shot in South Carolina, but they're saying it was in North Carolina.
So is Outer Banks like a boppy show, or is it have a serious?
Here's what I liked about it.
Okay.
It is very young, and it's very shit. What's the word I was using? Oh my god, innocent. It's innocent, and it reminds you of when you were younger and you made choices and you had beliefs, and it was just innocent and natural.
So
And
it's
that's
not stressful and like suspenseful.
not crazy suspenseful, but it will take you back to your childhood. It's fun. And when I watched the interview with the producer and the writer after it to find out if there was going to be a season 2, and that was one of the things he said, that he will do a season 2. He did say where he was going to start filming it from. He was going to include the people that were in it. What was really neat to me is that you had at the Outer Banks, there was different levels. There was the rich people, the blue collar, and then the poor. And all of these people in some form or fashion have intertwined, from the parties to where the rich people are. The middle class was there because they were dating someone, and the poor people were there because they were working security or cooking or whatever. So it was just, but the livelihood of them all, and the struggle for them all. And the main character lost his dad, and he's trying to live in his dad's footsteps in some sense. So it's just, there's a lot of things that I wouldn't watch it again. One time was cool, but I would watch Ozarks again, if that makes sense.
Okay, so it's just so intense.
It is. And I like Jason Bateman. He's
so good.
Yes.
Like, did you ever watch Arrested Development?
I did. Not an awful lot, but I did.
Not an awful lot. He's just got great delivery.
I watched Silver Spoons.
What about Curb Your Enthusiasm with Larry David?
A little bit. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I don't watch an awful lot of TV. I watch Supercross, college football, and I DVR'd like the late night shows just for the artists that are going to be on there.
Yeah, I get that. That. What have you thought about like all the music shows that have been like taking, Disney did all the at home with different artists singing Disney songs.
I thought it was cool. It was interesting. Yeah, I think we DVR'd them, but I lost that because I just disconnected from DirecTV and just got YouTube TV. So I guess maybe I didn't go crazy and go watch them again. I am bummed that the ACMs are staying in Nashville. That bummed me out.
But you'll come to Nashville.
It probably won't have anyone in the audience.
That's the question, right?
Yeah.
So that's one of the things. They're having it at the Opry, the Ryman, at the Bluebird. So it might not have an audience.
I think it's just for TV.
What do you think about, like, I can't believe I'm asking this, but football? Do you think they're going to keep playing and just do it without an audience too?
I think that takes so much away from the sport. It just does, because when I was young, I played a lot of basketball, and part of it was being able to look up in the, and see my mom or something like that. And that was what it was about. And I just don't see, I mean, you could say the XFL didn't have anyone in the audience and they still played, but I mean, I don't know. I mean, I was watching the last basketball game with the Dallas Mavericks, and I don't know why I was watching it when they started talking to Mark Cuban. I mean, wow. And that was the last basketball game. I just happened to be watching it, and it was on ESPN, and I'm just like sitting there and I'm listening to him talk. And I've been a fan of him for so long, because he comes out of my world of the whole computer sector and tech and all that kind of stuff. And I've loved watching him grow and selling his stuff and just becoming the man he is today. And he's such an interesting character that listening to him talk about what happened live, and, just be in awe, just like we were. But I wouldn't, like, would I watch a hockey game? Maybe, I guess. I mean, would I go crazy over it? No. Football? Hell no. That's what it's all about. College football. It's about the crowd. When you look at Penn State play, and there's, 80 to 100,000 people in the stands. Come on, man. That's what. So don't you think, though, that we will have so much better indication of what it's all going to look like when the different sports organizations decide what they're doing? I believe that is a great approach to watch them, because they are the leaders, both on a personal level for a fan base, and on an economic level for the world. I mean, the NFL is worth billions, if not more. And you sit back, and I mean, we have a brand new football team here that's supposed to start this year.
Oh, that's right. What are their names again?
The Las Vegas Raiders.
Oh, right. They got the Raiders.
Yeah. So and that venue is. It is.
Why did you do this?
I'm not a fan of the Raiders. Never have been. but
Because of the name?
just don't like. I'm an Eagles fan. I've been an Eagles fan since I was a
Yeah,
kid.
like an eagle. I mean, I get it.
Yeah. So one of my really, really good friends, Rocky, has been an Oakland fan, a Raiders fan forever. And when they first announced it, he goes, "You can become a Raiders fan?" I'm like, absolutely not. Just because they move a city doesn't mean I like them.
That's funny.
But that's just me.
Yeah, I think it'll be. I mean, I think too. I mean, speaking again to Las Vegas. I mean, when Las Vegas opens,
And
when
how
Las
they
Vegas.
hold on, and how they open. I don't know if you've seen any of the images that have come out on some like the riverboat gambling things, and they have the separators on the tables and a sneeze guard in front. So it's just like, who's going to play blackjack where you can't touch the chips, you can't touch the cards. All you're doing is sitting there going, okay.
It's like a slot machine. You can just do that without, yeah.
Well, a virtual one, yeah. You're not even touching anything. So I mean, I don't know. I'm bummed because they announced like certain things can open here pretty soon with social distancing. But my buddy owns a bar up in Tahoe on the Nevada side. It's got I believe he's got gaming in there. But he's like, how can I go to Walmart with 150 people, but I can't open my bar to 30 people and do social distancing?
Yeah.
He is pissed. And I mean, Stoney's is a little different animal. I understand that. I mean, but at the same time, how come our local bars around the corner that have gaming, why can't they separate? You know, you never see those bars fully packed because there's so many of them, but why can't you just allow 25 people and set them at every other thing, you know? Yeah. And so, I mean, my really good friends work in the industry. I mean, the hospitality industry here is poop right now. I mean, these people are all got zero, and most of them lived paycheck to paycheck.
Yeah.
Night to night.
Yeah. I think I haven't looked at what Montana's like phases are. I know that here in North Carolina, 5 people I mean, that's the max that can be in any one place at one time.
Wow. Yeah, I think ours is 6 people. 6 feet, 6 people. But like we went out last night just to try and support some local businesses and get food. The first place we stopped to, they ran out of food. They closed an hour early because they didn't have any food left. So we went to another place and got Thai food. But it's interesting, it's super interesting. I'm looking forward to being able to have sushi again. You know the sushi place we went to for my birthday?
Yes.
They opened Monday for lunch and dinner, and the only thing you can get fresh is salmon. So we had Monday night, we had a salmon fest here at the house.
No kidding.
Yeah.
I love that.
A lot of salmon on Monday, but
that sounds amazing. We've been trying to do that here in around our area, just try to support any restaurant that's doing takeout. And the restaurant industry is so, I think people don't realize, I pray that through this they realize how important our farmers are.
Yeah, absolutely. So in saying that with you, I've been reading some stuff online where they're saying that they were shutting down some of the facilities to actually process meat. Did you guys get hit with that at all? Are you guys fine?
No, we're involved with we're part owners with our processor.
Okay.
So we're part of every aspect of our supply chain from conception to consumption. So we can absolutely verify how our animals have been treated. You
guys track. I know that you guys do track.
Me and my transparency tracking. I'm like, listen, I can promise you so no, in North Carolina, the head of agriculture, they're working tirelessly to make sure that the local farms are able to, stay in business.
Right.
I think that some of the, factory farms around the country that had to euthanize all their animals because they had nowhere to harvest and process and get the meat to, that like breaks my heart.
And that was true too, huh?
Yeah. I mean, I think that what people might not realize is that when you're selling products to a restaurant, right? Like fresh meat to a restaurant, it comes completely different than it does to a grocery store.
Absolutely.
So I hope that they can find a way. I hope that all the industries will find a way of, in a time like this, I pray we never experience this again. We need to be ready for anything.
Right.
It's not when there's a shift where there's so much food that's now having to be just destroyed that could have fed people.
Right. Absolutely. You know, it's funny. My previous life, I cut meat for 7 years.
That's right. We've talked about this.
Yeah. So, I mean, when I heard that, I was kind of disappointed in the whole thing. And then when I heard that a lot of the processing places were having issues with stuff, I just went, man, you know, give me a side. I'll figure it out.
Yeah. Well, and that's like exactly, you know, like how chefs get it at the restaurant. It's
Absolutely.
Different. They don't get like one package of chicken. They get, you know, quite a bit. And, you know, the dairy farmers having to just throw away milk. It seems so just hard to wrap my brain around, but also the circumstances are unprecedented. I know everyone is using that word.
Right.
No one could have seen the layers, you know.
It's crazy. It's totally crazy. How's David doing? Is he like kind of just going with the flow?
You know, he has like the emotional fortitude of, I mean, like he's just so, I don't know how he does it. Like I'm an artist. I've got emotion all the time about, you know, I mean, I don't know about you, but like days have like, there are days you wake up and you're like, okay, I got this. And then there's days you're like, I don't got this, you know? And he's just so even, you know, and he's so mindful and thoughtful. I think the hardest thing for him and watching has been his parents in assisted care. And we haven't been able to, you know, we're FaceTiming them, but we haven't been able to be in the same room as them.
Right.
And so we've had a few opportunities to like through the glass outside, like we'll go outside the building and we're able to like have a conversation on our phones, but
seeing each other. Yes.
Seeing each other.
Right.
And so that's been, you know, that's been really hard to watch.
Was it his mom that broke her hip?
Yes. Yeah.
That's all better now. That part's all better.
But she's got her little assisted care life, and his dad does as well. And so that's the biggest struggle for him. I know, I mean, having Sarah here, my stepdaughter, that's like, okay, he doesn't have to worry about her being in New York.
Right.
And Andrew, my stepson, he's in Montana. And so he's safe. And so
how old is he?
He's 24.
Nice.
Yeah.
Good kid?
He's super great.
Good. I like it.
For not being their bio mom, like, I'm like, well, Sarah sings and Andrew's the little cowboy and plays his guitar. I mean, I'm like, they're not mine, but they're totally mine.
Totally yours. Yeah. Like Alyssa is now mine.
Yeah. How's our little pumpkin doing?
She's awesome. We
doing okay?
She's doing good. She has her days where she'll look at us and be like, I'm bored. And I'm like looking at her going, me too.
Yeah. How's it with not having, what happened with school there? Did they just
done? Yeah, every morning she wakes up, the first thing she does is spend about 2 hours online doing her homework. So they canceled it. They canceled the year. Okay. So she's done for the summer. And but she's still doing, like I said, the online stuff. She has to turn it in, has to, you know, be responsible with that. And we don't babysit that for her. She gets up and does it herself. The only thing I babysit her for is brushing her teeth when she wakes up. That's it. I'll walk by and I go, you brush your teeth? She's like, dang it. And then she'll come back out and do her stuff.
Are you like the tooth patrol?
I am the tooth patrol. I cannot stand
dirty mouth.
No morning breath. Not my thing.
Dirty mouth.
Yeah, no dirty mouth for me. Yeah.
Oh my gosh. Speaking of breath, side note, we have wild onion in some of our, like where I have my mini animals and my mini creatures, and my miniature donkey got a hold of some wild onion.
Right.
And it was so funny because she just, I was like, who's had onion? Like,
you could smell it?
Yeah. And it was her little donkey breath. So cute.
I have to show you yesterday when Heather and I went for the walk. I said, are we going to leave Whiskey, who's our new puppy, out? Are we going to leave Whiskey out? And she goes, yeah, we'll be fine. Well, that 20-minute walk to the mailbox turned into an hour and a half because we talked to the neighbor, and this is what we came home to.
What?
So, yeah. So my buddy Sparky just wrote and said, was that toilet paper? I said it was. And all I wrote back was dollars, like bags of money, because he goes, that kennel life for that dog. So I'm like, normally the dog sleeps sleeps with us in the bed at night. Last night, I put her in the kennel. Today in the kennel. She went for a run with Heather, back in the kennel. I said all day today she stays in that kennel. She's got to learn. Like, just because we leave for 15 minutes, that doesn't mean terrorize the house. And
How did that work out? Do you feel like she got it?
she's still in the kennel. This happened last night. So she's in the kennel right now. And I walk by and she's like,
like, come on, Dad. How old is she?
9 months.
Oh, and she's like full on teething too, right? Like everything is a chew toy.
Hold on. I want you to look at this picture just a little bit closer.
Just a little closer.
Look at the front of my brand new couch.
Oh no.
Yeah, she ate that too. Yeah.
Well,
So I put it up on Instagram today. I said, any takers, I'll trade you a vacuum for it. Like for the dog, like I'm up for swapping.
You're not trading a vacuum for your dog. You love that dog.
I do love her, but I mean, today I would trade her. I would.
But then she'll look at you. You'll walk by her crate, try not to look into those little precious whiskey eyes, and then she'll go.
Yeah. Well, sure. It's funny. I go, Heather, I said, you need to be just as like dominating with her as I am. So she walks up to her and goes, your dad is mad at you. Wait a minute.
I mean, that's pretty cute.
Yeah, it was pretty funny.
So is there anything, I mean, you guys have been around each other a bunch. Like like, this is not new. What's been new for you?
I kind of joke about this, but there's 4 girls here and me. We got 2 female dogs, Alyssa and Heather. And so I'm just like, she's already tried to bury me twice, Heather has. So, but I mean, I don't know. It's been cool. Like, we cook a lot together. She's been taking advantage of the time. She's still working. But she's just working from home. But she's been taking the time to cook a lot more and recipes and running. And, that's kind of cool. I think that, I mean, I don't want to say it's difficult because that's not the word, but I'm used to being home. I'm just not used to having everyone home with me, but they've been cool. So when I close the door, they don't come in, they don't bother me, that sort of thing. So it's not so much different than anything. We spend our time at night. We know that we eat dinner together, we eat lunch together. We watch TV at night together. She usually falls asleep about 15 minutes into watching TV. And then she'll wake up like an hour and a half later and go, you didn't even give me the opportunity to watch that episode. And I'm like, you're sleeping.
Yeah. I think for us, I usually would come into town on a Sunday, after performing all weekend, come home for like a Sunday, Monday, and then back out on the road Tuesday.
Right.
So what David and I would normally do is we would try to get all our work done so that we could just grab that time together.
Right.
And now, like, I finally understand when people, because I've always like been 9 to 5, like I can work till all hours of the, and I do. Right. I think that I now understand a weekend. Like, I never understood a Friday night, a Saturday. Right.
Yeah, because you're working. And
that's my work.
You think today, like I said when I recorded my radio show today, I was like, it's Friday. Are we excited that it's Friday? I mean,
yeah.
Are we? And the thought process to me is, what's going to happen in 5 months? Is Friday going to be exciting again? Because we just don't know how things are gonna go, because it's going to be.
Yeah, it's super interesting. I mean, like I'm like, oh, it's Friday. I'm not playing a show tonight, so our farm is super close to where we live, so it's like walking distance. So it's not. So I try to give him as much space. I come work on the farm, and then we all make dinner together. We do spend a ton of time in the kitchen. I mean, the kitchen is where everything happens.
Sure. I think we're the same. And if I butt into her recipe, I'm out of the kitchen. I get kicked out. But I don't use recipes. I have a flavor profile that I've inherited through the years, and between cutting meat and being around people and working in kitchens, that I giggle at her sometimes because she'll do a half a teaspoon and she's like this. And I'm like, just, don't you see them on TV when they go like this? That's all you need.
What's that called? Like a pinch.
Yeah, pinch, sprinkle,
Yeah.
sprinkle. Kind of fun.
Yeah, I try. My funny recipe story is so our market. You guys are gonna have to come out here when you everyone's allowed to travel again, and
Right.
the world is the world. But we so we have like a soup mix that I try to make everything, or I try to try everything, eat everything in our market, so I always can speak to it, honestly, and be like, okay, well, if you don't like this, then don't go with that, go with this.
Right.
And so I took home this soup mix, and I'm like, yeah, it's cold. North Carolina's been really chilly. And I'm like, I'll make us some soup. And it was just David and I, being the non-chef that I am, and having no real business in the kitchen, except once, once David and I started dating and got married, yes, we have like this dual role, and we're a little competitive in the kitchen. And so I'm like, I'm going to make you some soup tonight. And I didn't read the directions because I thought it was like one of those just add water mixes.
Right.
So I didn't read the directions. I'm going to repeat that. I didn't read the directions. And it was for about 8 to 12 people, this tiny little packet of soup mix.
So you added like a cup of water and that was it?
Yeah. So it was like, and I was trying so hard. And David was so sweet. Well, I used some bone broth, like we do our grass-fed beef bone broth. So I used some of that water and it was painful.
Were you eating paste?
It was so bad, and he was so he kept trying to eat it, and it was terrible, and he was just being such a good sport about it. I'm like, well, I'm really bad at this, and I was like, I've made soup before. I mean, it's a mix. Like, how hard is it? And so then I went and read the back, and it was for 12 people.
Was it like 12 cups or something like that?
Yes.
Wow. Heather came up. So I love carrot cake. It's my favorite. It's my birthday. Love carrot cake. Love banana bread. Yeah. Heather found this recipe. Oh, sorry. When you eat peach cobbler, the crumble that's on top? Mm-hmm. Love that stuff. So she just came up with this recipe of banana bread with crumble on top. Mm. She's made it 3 or 4 times now. I told her for my birthday, I don't even want to look at carrot cake. I want that banana bread thing. And then she's been making these chocolate chip cookies with sea salt on them. Dude.
Heather, I'm going to be texting you later for some of your recipes.
You should because, I'll give her the baking thing. She's got that. And I won't even yell at her. And I'm just like, I won't even bother her when she's in the kitchen with that stuff. Because I always say it's healthy because bananas. I'm just saying.
Yeah. Here's the deal with this whole spring cleaning, which I'm referring to this time in our lives. I am not restricting anything.
Dude, it's not the freshman 15. It's the COVID 15.
Listen, my Tushy has a second name. It goes by Rona. But I'm just, going easy on myself.
Right. Yeah.
I think that we're always just like so regimented, and we're always running out of time, and we don't have enough time. It's like, there's this little French bakery in Greensboro that's started supplying us with this amazing French bread and chocolate croissants. And I'm like, you know what? Take me back to France.
There you go.
And I just savor it. Like, do you feel like you're like savoring things more?
Absolutely. When Jake came over the other night, he brought over ribeyes and a tri-tip, and he goes, well, I'm going to cook the tri-tip on the grill. I'm like, you do you. I'm putting these ribeyes on the smoker. And he's like, I've never really had that before. And I said, all you need is salt and pepper, nothing else, because the hickory will get in there. And he goes, how long? I go, about 40 minutes. And we ate them, and he was like, dude, this is so good. So
you need to do cooking with Toad.
Well, it's funny. I talked to your friend Hannah Dasher the other day. Monday, I talked to her, and she's got her cooking shows, and she wants me to go on her cooking show where they blindfold you.
Oh.
And you just grab items, and then you unblindfold yourself, and you have to make something out of the items that you've grabbed. So I was like, yeah, that would be cool, but I don't think I could do my own cooking show. We watch a lot of Chopped. We watch a lot of Guys Grocery Games. We watched a lot of all that stuff. And
I do love a good cooking show, like the Great American, is it the Great American Bake Off, or the one, the Cake Wars?
Cake War. Well, I think that's a little over the top for me. That's art.
Have you seen the one where it's like the amateur bakers or whatever. They
The
have,
people that can't cook, the world's worst cooks. Yes, they can't even flip a steak.
yeah,
So I have.
I do enjoy that. The
Yeah.
cooking.
I can't. We watch. So when we got rid of DirecTV, one of the main things we look for is to make sure we had Bravo and food.
Yeah.
So it's all we really cared about. And because I got Supercross on my iPad, I don't care about that. And we have Disney Plus, so I don't really need much more. So Alyssa's happy, Heather's happy, I'm happy, and I've saved a lot of money every month.
Boom. You should. It's brought to you by.
Dude. Okay, so we got to get a song in here. What do you want to play for us today?
Oh, am I supposed to sing?
I mean, that's what you do for a living. And the thought process is I'd love for you to play a song, and then I want to talk to you just a little bit with that little recording button off.
Well, yeah. So I can play whatever I want?
Anything you want.
Well, because this is just a really cool situation, and it's happening right now. When is this going to air?
Next week.
Okay. Well, they can reflect upon what I'm about to say.
Word.
Because it works into all of next week.
Okay.
So whatever day, even if you release this in a year, it'll still be great. But Evel Knievel.
I like it.
This song is such a full circle song. So wrote the song with Karen Kostowski, Tori Tullier, and then recorded the song, put out the song, and my friends at Harley Davidson here in High Point, North Carolina heard it, and they took it to Harley Davidson.
Right.
And so we've been working on this video project with Harley Davidson called From Horses to Horsepower.
Okay.
And with my mom and I. And my mom is mentoring me on how to ride Harleys because she's been riding a Fat Boy now for over 20 years. And she taught me how to ride horses. So all of that amidst coming from a song, that's one of the coolest songwriting stories of my life, for it to go so full circle. The fact that Evel Knievel rode Harleys.
Right.
It's
he
just
jumped them.
Yeah, he did. He was the most fearless. Some of those pictures are just super wild.
Dude,
and I love this song because this song has definitely been a song that's been picking me up over the course of this last 50 some days. And I really cherished this little video with my mom because you can't make this up.
Right. It's the timing.
Yeah, so they're going to release that on Sunday, May 3rd, and it's for Mother's Day. So you'll, whenever you release
next week.
Next week.
Okay.
So is that cool if I play Evel Knievel?
I'm going to go with no, but you do you.
Perfect, great. Also, Blast from the Past.
Yeah.
Remember this one?
Oh, yeah. We have those I have one of those on my desk at my office.
Blast from the Past. This is
I don't have that one.
This one's 20.
Hold that up again. Hold that up again.
20.
Crazy.
20. When was this one? This one's 2 years ago, 3 years ago. That one, I got to look at the year. That was probably, that was 2012.
Holy Pope. Yeah.
This one?
I've seen that one. Yes.
Drinking with Dolly days.
That one was for was that with Drinking with Dolly?
This was Drinking with Dolly, yeah.
Yeah.
Not that I just have all my pictures laying around,
Oh,
but I was going through a bunch of stuff, just trying to get organized. I was like, I'll keep one of each, and then the 500,000 of all the other ones are going to go to recycling.
It's a good fire starter. Come on, man.
Oh, though, I think it's that, is it?
I don't know.
It seems a little intense to just burn all my pictures.
Or recycle them. I think you should shred them before you recycle them.
Really? So, maybe I should shred it in pieces and then tape one back together of all the different faces.
Do it. That would kind of probably look pretty cool, actually.
Or super weird.
You got free time. It's like a puzzle, only different.
I'm also excited about this.
Um,
Box
Seeds.
short.
So, do you know who owns Seeds of Change?
You do?
No, God, no.
No.
Eminem Mars.
Really?
Yeah. Do you know how I know that?
How?
I used to work for M&M's. I
Really?
worked for the Mars company for a while. Yeah, I did Ethel M's. I did Ethel's Chocolates. I did Seeds of Change. Yeah.
We have much to discuss. I will circle back.
Word.
She'll sing a song now.
Dude, I think, listen, I'm going to go ahead and throw you for a loop. I want you to play Evel Knievel. Hold it. Don't smile. Just hold it.
Do you know what I miss? I miss that picture we get every time I play Stonies.
Yeah.
Of us beating each other up.
Yeah. I win those, by the way.
No.
Yeah.
And I miss Montucky.
I was online yesterday with Kanan Smith, and he was drinking a Michelob Ultra, and I'm like, dude, do you like those Michelob Ultras? He's like, dude, I ran out of Montucky cold snacks, so this is what I have to drink. Not that I don't like it, but I like Montucky cold snacks. I was like,
yeah. Montucky is the Montucky of the Montucks.
it is the cold snack.
It is the cold snack.
Cold snack.
All right, I'm going to sing a song. Try to keep your face in a pleasant look back, okay? Because I got to look at you. Oh, you can see yourself. That's perfect.
I'll do this.
What? Let's keep that face for the full 3 minutes.
You do you. Let's go.
Did you wash your hands today?
Monday I did.
Oh, perfect.
Yeah.
You say you got a dream, everybody got a dream, but what you gonna do with it? It's easier to be living like you're asleep and never follow through it. How do you jump when you can't see the bottom? Playing the cards you don't know you got. Just one part crazy, one part leap of faith. Hey, run like a wild horse, chasing that sun even if you're all out of breath. Aiming your arrow straight for the stars, even if you can't see it. Ain't no one born with nerves of steel. Sometimes we gotta take our hands off the wheel to fly like an eagle, like Evel Knievel. You say you got a heart, nobody got a heart that hasn't been torn up. It takes a little risk, may even wanna quit, but it's all a part of. All the mountains, valleys, roller coasters pull you in, then push you over. Find your wings on the way down. Yeah, you learn how to run like a wild horse, chasing that sun even if you're all out of breath. Aiming your arrow straight for the stars, even if you can't see it. Ain't no one born with nerves of steel. Sometimes we gotta take our hands off the wheel to fly like an eagle, like Evel Knievel. Just one part crazy, one part leap of faith. And even if you're going down in flames, run like a wild horse, heaving your railroad. Run like a wild horse, chasing that sun, even if you're all out of breath. Aiming your arrow straight for the stars, even if you can't see it. And no one born with nerves of steel. Sometimes we gotta take our hands off the wheel to fly like an eagle, like Evel Knievel, like Evel Knievel.
Yeah.
I was going, oh my goodness, we have some of our employees downstairs in the farmhouse right now. I'm like, I hope I'm not too loud.
Right? That's okay. Give them a little entertainment while they're working, you know?
Oh dear.
That's what
And then I didn't want to blow out your little Zoom speakers.
Dude, I have big Zoom speakers in here. I work in my office, so like I have to listen to music loud, and when something good comes on, I turn it up really loud. That's just what it
Right.
is. Yeah.
Do you guys have enough water?
I think we have like 4 bottles left. That's it.
Do you really?
Yeah.
The good stuff?
That stuff. Yeah.
Sounds
And,
good.
we did make tacos the other night with a package of meat. Super good.
Mm.
Ready. Dude, it's 100 and something degrees here today. So yeah, soup and stew just don't work right now. So
That sounds amazing, 100 degrees.
not when you can't go to the lake.
Do you have like a little kiddie pool?
Well, yes. Alyssa wanted to get one of those little pools, so we got one. And she kept saying it's too small, she can't lay in it. So then we started the hunt for the above ground pool just to put in the backyard. And Heather's brother, they had one that they used at their old house one time and they tore it down. So Heather went and picked that up in the middle of the week, and then we got like some new filter parts for it. So it's 12 foot by 3 foot. It's in the backyard.
Amazing.
Yeah. So and now
So
Heather
you have a swimming area.
we do. I have a backyard that has a volleyball court, has a little bit of a soccer field. We got 2,400 square feet of grass for Alyssa and the dogs to run. We have bocce ball, we have ping pong, we have a putting green. We have a very, very quarantine friendly backyard.
We'll be right over.
Dude, don't talk about it. Be about it.
I mean, listen, I don't even know the rules of travel right now.
I think that when you go state to state, you have to quarantine for 14 days.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, I mean,
I'm not saying we've got an extra room and stuff for you and Dave to kick it, but
you're not saying you've got a tent.
I don't camp, and I would never push anyone to camp. That's not my thing.
You don't camp?
No. The most camping I did was when I saw you last year at Country Fan Fest. We had an RV.
It's not the best.
It was kind of cool. I mean, it was different. It was definitely different.
RVing.
Yeah, it was. I have hookups on the side of my house, and so my buddy's been storing his there and plugs it in and keeps the battery and blah 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 and can dump it. It's got everything. So, I guess that's all right. I mean, as long as you have the amenities to hook up to, I guess it's cool, right?
Yeah. I mean, there are much worse ways to have to rough it.
You would not see me in a tent. I wouldn't do it.
You ain't gonna see me
in a tent.
In a tent. You ain't gonna see me in a tent.
Yep, that's true. Or setting one up for that matter. Oh, I'd set one up for Alyssa.
One up. Nope, that ain't my job. I got Heather.
Look at that. Gold.
She'd be like, nope, I am not setting up that tent.
She would. I believe she would camp. I believe she would.
Yeah, I think she would camp.
Yeah. Yeah, not me. Do you know who Chris Bandy is?
Yes.
So I was shooting the poop with him Wednesday, and we had this conversation what I've been doing at home, and I started to play the guitar. So he goes, "Go grab that thing." So I had my first ever Zoom right.
Ooh, was it any good?
No, because I only know 3 chords.
No, was the song good though?
We didn't write any lyrics, man. He just kept looking at my chords, and then he goes, "Dude, if you play this, this, and this with those 3 chords, you can play the song." And he starts singing and playing the song.
And you can do like the, like the. Oh, so fun! Yeah. I will say that that has been. I mean, because I think I've done a virtual performance of some sort every single day for 50 days.
That's a lot. That's a lot of content.
So yeah. So I mean, I am having some fun on the guitar.
You get to play it a lot more. And now my expectation is next time you're at Stoney's that you're going to play the guitar a lot more.
I mean, I play the guitar a lot on stage.
Whether a lot more.
Totally different.
a lot more. Every single song you're going to have the guitar in your hand.
You know what? You know what I think, though? I will say this, is I have a beautiful electric guitar that is going to be coming out of hiding.
Yeah? Do you want to see mine?
I've seen yours. I want that blue one.
That's what I've been playing.
I know.
Is the hollow.
I know you.
The hollow. The hollow. The Les Paul's too heavy. It's very heavy, but that hollow.
Les Paul is too heavy. I just can't lift it up to play it. I would need a stool for the stool.
Exactly. See how that works?
They're gonna be like, for those that are not watching this, they're gonna be like, "Who's the kid that jumped up?"
Oh no, they're gonna watch. They're gonna watch at some point. I'm gonna post both audio and video. I think I was just gonna do clips, but these are turning out to be pretty fun. So I think people need to see you too.
I mean, you've got a good face for radio.
I mean, that's what I've been told. A lot. Heather tells me a lot. I have one that I tell Heather all the time. She's so much cuter when she's quiet.
Wow.
Somebody told me that years and years ago, and I was like, I've always wanted to say that to somebody, but you know, I think that comes with quarantine life. You come up with stuff like that.
Hey, will you send me some more of those one-liners? I'm gonna share those.
No,
What?
that's the only one I have. Oh, the mailman's behind you. I see him.
Where?
He just went by.
Oh, my
Yeah,
mailman?
Yeah, you're a mailman. My mailbox is nowhere near
I'm
me.
a mail woman.
Mail woman. It's a thing. I'm going to say thank you for the time today. I'm glad you made the time today.
Thank you for wanting me to even share my brain. So thank you.
I appreciate you. Tell people how to find you online.
Well, friends, I'm all the places where you can socially distance by socially finding me on social media. All at Stephanie Quayle, Quayle. Our fan family, Flock of Quayle, join us.
Ta-da. Thank you
Ta-da.
again. I will talk to you soon.
Talk to you soon.